part-time for housework and childcare. For me, who is living a stormy day every day, I happen to be told from work today, "There are enough people today, so you can have a day off." As a result, I suddenly had to take time off from work. I was taking a short nap during my brief moment alone, then my husband yelled, "Hey! Taking a nap at this time? You look so relaxing, huh?" "What? I'm working hard every day. I need to relax occasionally." Just as I was about to retort, his phone vibrated. I didn't miss how he looked at his phone and smirked. "I've been suddenly called into work. I'm heading out. I might be late and perhaps won't come back." "Hey! What do you mean won't come back? Don't interfere. If you won't do the wife's job, you're not needed here." He spat it out and left the house. As I tried to sleep again, even though I was still irritated, a message came. "Get out by today and cool your head." Seeing those words, I made up my mind. As you wish, I'll pack all my things and leave today. I'm Sophie, 30 years old. Until I got married, I worked at an advertising agency. My husband Evan is 10 years older than me. He was a client of my business. I was 25 and he was 35. As we dined together several times, we discovered that we both loved camping. His 10-year seniority brought a sense of composure and maturity. I found that very appealing. We soon started dating, got married after 2 years, and a year later, our daughter was born. We named our long-awaited first child Lily. She turned 4 this year. Though it was a marriage with an age gap, we were extremely happy. However, there was one thing. I had a dissatisfaction with Evan. He seemed to dislike the idea of his wife working. "A wife should be at home, supporting the working husband. If my wife works, it seems like I lack masculinity." He mentioned wanting me to quit my job. Since I loved my job, I managed to persuade my husband and transitioned from a full-time to a part-time position at the company I worked for. During the day, I went to work, and my daughter was in daycare. I was happy to continue my beloved job, and my daughter seemed that she had many friends there. "Today, I got a letter from," or "I did this at the nursery today." And such reports eased my mind about leaving her there. Also, last year, my husband Evan got promoted to department head. Both of us celebrated his recognition and promotion. We were thinking of putting in even more effort from now on, but after his promotion, Evan changed strangely. His attitude became more overbearing. "Didn't I tell you to neatly arrange all the remotes?" Or, "Hey, the bath isn't warm. After I worked so hard, isn't it your job to have warm water ready for me?" And things like that. If I don't follow his self-made rules, he scolds me outright, gets in a bad mood. He never said such things before. Our daughter was also afraid of his recent attitude. "Dad has been somewhat scary lately. And recently, his behavior has been suspicious. I'll be late tonight for a drinking party. I have to work overtime because I'm busy at work." And other similar statements. "Our Lily is still young, so I'd like you to be at home a little more." That's right. But the pandemic is settling down, so there are more work-related social obligations. I've been busier with work since the promotion. Overtime has increased, and there are many sudden drinking invitations. I'm troubled too." When he says that, there's no way to argue back. "I see, good luck on your work." I said so. Evan, in that way, started making various excuses like overtime or parties, and the days when he doesn't come home until late at night increased. His strange behavior is not only this. During meals, using the toilet and the bathroom, he always takes his phone with him. Additionally, whenever he returns, claiming overtime or a party, I always sense something odd. For example, there is a sweet fragrance of perfume, or when I try to take out the contents of his suit pocket to wash it, here is colored lip balm inside, or there is a receipt indicating a meal for two has been settled.
Evan, what's this?
I showed Evan the colored lip balm and inquired. Evan replied. His face turned straight.
Oh. My lips have been chapped recently, so I bought some lip balm, but it seems like I bought the wrong one. Oh, I see.
Despite his claim of purchasing it by mistake, when I opened it, lip balm appeared to have been extensively used, with the tip being worn down. It would be difficult not to suspect something when such occurrences happen. He himself doesn't seem to realize his suspicious behavior and continues to display his usual overbearing attitude. My husband is hiding something. I wanted a divorce immediately, but I'm not a full-time employee, I only work part-time. I didn't have the confidence to take away her father from my young daughter and raise her alone. I decided to endure my anger and continue to treat my husband as usual. I'll endure it for now. But someday, for the divorce and revenge against my husband, I'll do what's necessary and start preparing. I secretly hired a private detective agency to gather evidence of his actions. Looking back, I'd like to be proud of myself for taking action behind the scenes at that time. He has become increasingly arrogant and started speaking abusive words towards me.
Hey, this food isn't tasty. Remake it.
When he is in very bad mood,
Lily's making too much noise playing house. I want to relax now for tomorrow's work. Keep her quiet.
His manner towards our daughter turned hostile as well.
Lily is only 4 years old. Can't she play make-believe? Besides, she's not that loud.
Even I, who usually overlook things, couldn't ignore it when it came to Lily, and when I retorted, "Hoof," he said, forcefully closed the door and left the room. His selfish behavior continued, and our relationship as a couple kept deteriorating. Today is Friday. I usually work weekdays from 9 to 1600 hours, and then pick up my daughter from daycare. Once I'm home, I rush to cook, clean, bathe her, and put her to bed. Household chores, parenting, and part-time work. Each day is a chaotic rush. While getting ready to head to work as usual, I received a call.
You were scheduled to work today, right?
It was from my boss.
Yes, but the client we had an appointment with is feeling unwell and canceled. We have enough staff, so you can take the day off. Really? Thank you so much.
And just like that, I suddenly had the day off. My daughter at daycare and my husband away at work, I decided to savor this brief moment of alone time. I dove onto the bed and lay down in a starfish position. Ah, happiness. While thinking like that and taking a nap, someone suddenly grabbed my foot and dragged me off the bed.
What? Who?
I shout in surprise at the sudden event. I can feel my heart pounding.
Hey! Napping at this hour, you've got some nerve, you lazy wife.
I heard a voice shouting. It was my husband.
Hey! What are you doing? You said you were working today, right? You've been secretly slacking off, resting, and having a comfortable day off behind my back, haven't you?
It seems he thinks I'm secretly skipping work and neglecting housework or tasks.
That's not it. I just happened to get a call from my boss today, telling me I can take the day off. Occasionally, I can take a break, right? Besides, weren't you off work too? I forgot some documents and came back to get them. Despite that, you're relaxing so comfortably during the day. You think you're leading a good life because of who? Because there's me, your husband, right?
When he says forgot some documents and came back to get them, his eyes start darting around. It's so clear that he's lying. He's quite an obvious man. Besides, he talks about money, but it's not like he earns significantly more. It's because of my salary that we can afford to live. Why does he elevate himself so much while looking down on others? Moreover, what about you? You can't even manage household chores if I'm not around.
Even I.
At the moment I attempted to argue, his phone buzzed. He immediately looked at his phone, and I didn't miss his smirk that played on his lips. They told me to come back from work, so I'm heading back. I might be late today and maybe I won't come back, he said.
Hey. What do you mean you might not come back? What? Shut up. Don't interfere every time. If you don't do the wife's job, you're not needed in this house. Get out.
He spat out these words and left the house. I could feel the boiling anger inside me. It was supposed to be a rare moment of solitude, but I feel terrible. Irritated, I lie back on the bed, trying to rest until the time to pick up. However, as I try to relax, my phone buzzes with a notification. I check the message and it reads,
"Why don't you take Lily and return to your parents' house once? It's a penalty for slacking off on housework. Cool your head."
It's from my husband. Something inside me snaps at this moment. Slacking off? What's he talking about? I hadn't been slacking off on housework. I can't believe he would say something so awful. I reached my limit. Shaking with anger, I composed a message.
Understood. I'll go back to my parents' house. Oh, you are very understanding. Of course. Pack all your stuff and get out by the end of the day.
Is that really fine? I will leave today for sure. It's too late for regrets, right? In no time, I'm wide awake, unlike a few moments ago when I was drowsy. I couldn't live with such a man in the future. I was resolute. Before my feelings change, I'll quickly organize my belongings. With this determination, I started packing my things, and made a call to a certain place.
Would you come over to our house for an estimate now? We'd like to sell all of our furniture and appliances.
This place refers to a second-hand store. From the store, I received a message saying, "We'll come over right away," and sold off all the furniture and appliances. The entire set of furniture and appliances had all been purchased using the money I had saved before marrying Evan. Evan had no savings at all when we decided to get married, so I used all the savings I had diligently accumulated to make those purchases. The house was now completely empty, and I felt the reality sinking in. I don't need to endure this anymore, to dispose of everything like this. I was thinking like that and feeling refreshingly relieved. And with something I had prepared under wraps, I went to the nursery to pick up Lily. I need to explain properly to Lily. I don't have any lingering feelings or emotions towards my husband anymore, but I think it's different for Lily.
Lily, I have something important to tell you. I'm thinking about living separately from Dad from now on. Would it be fine for you? As long as Mom's there, it's okay. Daddy has been scary lately. Are you really okay with that? Yeah. From now on, Lily will protect Mom.
Tears filled my eyes at my daughter's straightforward words. Without my noticing, my daughter had grown up to be a strong and kind child. Holding hands with my daughter, I made a call to my mother.
Hello, Mom. Can I take Lily with me to your place now? I want to live together for a while.
My mother seemed surprised and at a loss for words.
Sorry. It's so sudden. Don't startle me all of a sudden. Of course, you can come back to our home. But just explain the circumstances to me.
I should have explained this properly before it came to this situation. Sorry. I conveyed this and headed to the family home with Lily. Upon arrival, my mother welcomed us with plenty of delicious dishes. My father had a somber expression but warmly greeted us as always. Seeing the delicious feast, Lily exclaimed,
"Wow! Looks delicious."
Her beaming smile eased my worries a bit. I spoke to both my parents again. They silently listened to everything I'd been through with my husband and expressed full support for both Lily and me.
"There's actually one more thing,"
I prefaced, and then showed them some documents I brought from home.
"What in the world?"
My parents were astonished and furious upon seeing the documents. They made a proposal as revenge against my husband. I immediately put their plan into action. Rushing around, I put Lily to bed and, utterly exhausted, collapsed onto the sofa at my parents' house. My phone rang. It was my husband. I wondered whether to pick up the phone or not, but since I wanted to end the relationship with him, so I hit the answer button. As I had predicted, he shouted from his first word.
"Hey! What in the world is this about?"
Maybe he had finally returned home. The clock's hands had ticked past 1 a.m. While he was screaming, I remained quite calm.
"What are you talking about?"
I said and asked him back.
"What do you mean? It is completely empty inside of my house. And all the money in the account is gone. What do you think you're doing?" You noticed. You are the one who told me to pack my stuff and leave the house, right?"
Yes. I took out all the money from our family account. However, for the past year or so, he has been paying very little for living expenses. He didn't put it in, so I worked and put it in the account. I put it in there. I kept asking him to pay for our living expenses. Even though I asked for it, he would give some reason not to put money in it.
I said to pack up your things, but not everything, money, furniture, and appliances are all gone. Are you crazy or something?" "I'm not crazy at all."
I was calm and just did what I was told.
"What? Don't fool around. Even though you are a trash wife who can't live without me. What do you think about the husband?"
Oh really? Even though you haven't contributed to the living expenses properly in the past year, we were able to live just fine. Besides, you haven't fulfilled the role of a husband even once. No child rearing, no housework, hardly at home, and you don't even contribute to living expenses. What part of that defines a husband? I managed to live off my own salary from my part-time job because, at night after putting my daughter to sleep, I started doing a side job through teleworking. Although it was a side job, I did work related to advertisement production, similar to my main job, and earned a reasonable income. Therefore, there was hardly any barrier to divorcing my husband.
"Stop looking down on others."
At that moment, there was a loud bang. Perhaps my husband hit something.
Ugh, that's how you always are. You let emotions dictate everything and can't even have a proper conversation. That's what I dislike about you. That's why I left the house.
I vented all the pent-up frustration, and my husband, as if he'd gone mad, started saying these things.
"You don't belittle me."
"I won't forgive you. I'll sue you. I'll sue you for everything, taking away all the furniture, withdrawing all the money." "Huh? You'll sue me? It's clear you'd be at a disadvantage."
"I don't care. Go ahead and sue me. I've got all the evidence of your affair, so I'll send the lawyer a certified statement." What? What affair?"
He doesn't seem to understand what happened at all. His brain seems to be short-circuiting and his train of thought is completely messed up.
"What do you mean? I don't know about that. I don't know anything. Really, you don't know, do you? You remember it, right? Photos, WhatsApp conversations, when the relationship started, even the dashcam footage. All the evidence is right there. I wonder who will win in court.
Moreover, you said you came back to get the forgotten documents today. But you didn't even go to the company, did you? You lied, having fun again today. And the evidence is adding up.
Why would you?
In fact, I called his company earlier, and they told me Evan is taking paid leave today. I knew it. That's what I thought. I've been investigating him for about a year now, and his statements are always lies, and I've become able to see through those lies. Today was the same as the attitude he had when lying, so I immediately understood. Also, during my research, I found out some other things.
You're a bad liar. Oh, and there's also debt, right?
Yes, he had accumulated debt. The cause was gambling. I knew he went to gambling as a pastime, but I never expected he'd get so deeply involved as to accumulate debts. This was revealed by the investigation from the private detective agency. He must have been unable to contribute to our living expenses due to the debts from gambling. While I was working desperately, managing childcare and household chores, this man was having an affair, gambling, and accumulating debts. It's just despicable.
You've been deceiving me all along, haven't you? When it comes to the debt, I wonder if your new girlfriend will forgive you.
With that, he immediately began to defend himself as if nothing had happened.
No, it's not like that. Listen to me. What's not like that? I felt lonely. You were always busy with Lily, and I felt neglected. That's why. I haven't done anything wrong. Oh, so being lonely justifies having an affair? You're saying you've done nothing wrong? I have all the evidence. It's better not to tell strange lies. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I apologize for everything so far, okay? Please forgive me.
He is in panic and looks so ridiculous.
What? What are you talking about? I'm not going to forgive you. I don't need someone like you. If you understand, we'll end it. I'll send the divorce papers tomorrow, so you'll write and submit them to the city hall. Divorce. I'll break up with that woman. I'll figure out the debt. Could you be quiet? I don't need you anymore. Even if something happens, I won't come back. What's this all about? It's your fault. You don't take care of the housework properly. Parenting is half-hearted, and I'm sick of it. It's all your fault. Is it so bad that I sought comfort outside a bit?
He finally started saying absurd things. It seems he's completely lost it.
Do you even know what you're saying? Anyway, tell it to the lawyer yourself. I hope you've got a lawyer on your side.
He finally seemed to have given up on me and didn't say anything back.
You've got it all figured out now, right? I don't want to be with you anymore, and I don't want to exchange words with you. Goodbye.
I cut off the call without waiting for a response. True to my declaration, I sued my husband for infidelity. Needless to say, I won decisively. Seems he kept saying to his lawyer like, I only love my wife. She's just a fling. And I don't want to lose contact with my daughter. At this late stage, it's something that I couldn't care less about. Eventually, he ended up paying me $15,000 as compensation. Compensation and the debt incurred from gambling. I don't know how he plans to pay it back, but he must pay the compensation to me in full. Also, from the investigation, it turned out that his affair was with an office worker from his company. Of course, I demanded compensation from the woman, knowing he was married and still having an affair. She had to pay me $7,000. As for me, I quit my part-time job and started working as a freelancer. It's a great environment to balance work and time with my cute daughter because I can work remotely.
Additionally, my parents kindly offered me to stay with them for a while. Live together in this house for a while,
they said, and were excited to be with their daughter and granddaughter. Consequently, I now live with my daughter and parents. Lily is also very attached to my parents, and they help with housework and childcare. Feeling the warmth of family and no longer feeling alone. Right now, I am genuinely happy.